morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. We are back live for another week in the United States stock market. Again, this is going to be a very, very massive week. If you guys were paying attention to the details in the newsletter from yesterday, that one that's out there for free for all of you guys. Again, sorry it was a little late. I was very, very, very busy over the weekend. But, team, we have CPI and PPI coming up this week. It is a very, very big week ahead with how that data is going to start populating and show us kind of what PCE is going to look like the next time it is released. Now, we've seen a lot of interesting reactions to a lot of the data that has come out over the last couple of days. And I think the theme that we're going to start to see, and we've started to see this show up a little bit, is that there's going to be some very niche parts of the data that the market is really going to be reacting off of. We saw this with the non-farm payroll data on Friday, where that headline number looked horrendous. But when you look at the data in detail, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, full-time employment growth was actually negative, and all of the gains came from part-time employment, which is a very interesting trend. And there's two ways to interpret that, but they kind of all end up at the same conclusion. The interpretations are slightly different, but still equally as valuable. Now, everybody, it is that time of day. Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, I'd love to get some good mornings over here. Let's get a little bit of a roll call. And as always, if you guys are new, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you guys. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. That's all I ask for around here. Helps me out a whole lot getting these streams out to some more people so we can have more knowledgeable market participants to make sure that you guys are set up for success over the long term. Now, if you guys hit that 150 like threshold, we will be extending the stream today. Team, let's see who we got in here. We've got Daily Taylor, Vito, Rogue, Starsky, Dr. Bob, Angel, Eddie, Wreck-It Ralph, Benjamin, David, Jay, Caesar. Good morning, everybody. Chris, good morning, team. Let's see. USD JPY sniffed 152 again. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, that's not great. So Japan's an interesting situation there, especially with it really has to do with the devaluation of their currency over time and seeing what it is in relation to the US dollar. Now, there's been a lot of fear recently. I think I got to look again to see if Japan actually did end up raising rates. I don't think they did, but I think there's been hints that Ueda is looking to do that in the near future. And they're kind of the last ones over there that have basically near zero interest rates, which is exactly why you've been seeing all of these pundits on social media, in media in general, talking about the USD or basically the United States bonds and Japan carry trade with those low interest rates, taking out those loans at lower rates, converting them to US dollars, investing in those bonds, and basically getting a pretty much playing interest rate arbitrage where the only risk is exchange rate risk and counterparty risk as always. But team, we had an absolutely filthy week last week. Absolutely filthy week. I mean, I was up, 20% off of the ACB trade I gave you guys on the stream last Tuesday. Silver is still looking pretty good over here from what I've seen, 25.37 in the pre-market. That trade for me is very, very, very free. So I'm just going to be waiting, holding the rest of these contracts to expiration. They expire in May. If we end up hitting 26.43 up here, I'll probably sell the remainder of that position. But we'll see what it wants to do until then. Now, all of you guys that have taken advantage of the Swing Kings courses, the Day Trading Mastery course, the bundles, everything like that, especially for those of you guys in the mastermind, we've been talking a little bit more about these sector rotations. And the watch list of tickers that I sent you guys this week, a lot of them are going to be shares trades looking to see where this money wants to go, because you're not seeing the big individual names that we were trading over the last 6 months that, remember, I mean, I tweeted this out, that we went through that period of time where everything was firing off left and right. There were so many setups. We couldn't even take them all if we wanted to. And all of them were going absolutely insane. Now we have to be a little bit more picky. Remember, you guys have been absolutely crushing it. That does not give you the right to come in here and say, well, I'm just going to start taking setups that may not look as good or high quality as some of the other ones. Quality over quantity, ladies and gentlemen. Less trades, more profits is always the way to go. But let's see. First time here for Rodrigo. Everybody, I want to see you guys give a nice warm welcome to Rodrigo. Finally coming to the winning team, man. I mean, if you guys hang around the stream for long enough, you guys are going to learn a metric boatload about everything, not even just trading, just the overall market and just how things work. So Yeah. Well, this weekend was a big one for me. I mean, I didn't get back last night until like, I don't know, 1:30, 2 a.m. My flights were getting delayed. It was nuts. Good morning, guys. If you have a question, entering Civi, because I'm basically looking to break the 76.50 range. Yeah, let's take a look at Civi. Civi, I think, is a little, what do I have this year? Yeah, that's what I have. I have 76.46 as the break to the upside level. So yeah, right around there. Christopher, that is awesome. So Christopher ended up hopping into the courses last week and is already able to identify these. That's awesome, man. I love that. I love that. Tesla, Uber, Lyft. Yeah, let's take a look at some of those. Yields are up today, which is interesting so far. Tessie up. I almost would expect this thing to start moving back to the debt. You do have a nice little double bottom here, though. I think there's going to be a really nasty trade on Tesla coming. I think not anytime soon, but at some point this year, I think we're going to be able to do some pretty disgusting things to Tesla, especially if we can get that shift of trend. Now, we thought we had the potential to do it up in here with the breakout level over, what was it, 206. It ended up invalidating to the downside, kind of followed through on that weekly downside setup there, but kind of bottoming out here with a decent amount of volume coming in on Friday, this past Friday, buying this thing back up, popping up in the morning. Again, I don't need to be buying this thing down here. We're just going to look at that exact setup to make sure that we're in the best position for success that we possibly could be, and see what happens from there. Chewy, hold on, we got a couple of more tickers. So Uber and Lyft, and then we'll take a look at Chewy. Uber is probably looking decent on the weekly time frame here. Yeah, it is. I'd probably wait on this one a little bit more. I mean, if it comes up to 80, 90 and it starts running, sure. I mean, we can take a look at that. Lyft. We've had some disgusting trades on Lyft recently. Let's see. Lyft on the weekly doesn't look bad. I like how it looks on the weekly, just being hated and starting to move back up. Lyft, not as good as Uber here, especially on the daily. It's got a little bit more noise. I mean, we played this move. I think this move up and this move up on Lyft off of these consolidations here. I wish I got this one, but you can't hit them all. And then let's see. Chewy. Let's take a look at Chewy. Chewy on the daily has potential. If this thing can flatline this week, I'd be interested in that. Weekend binge sessions with your classes. You are the king. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, best trading education in the game, man. I mean, you guys see the results of it every week. You guys saw it on the Instagram last week with the swings. You guys see it in the TikTok and Instagram videos. So, I mean, you guys want 50% off, you know where to go. You're asking more because, the robo taxi. Here's an interesting way to look at the robo taxi stuff. I've seen some write-ups that are talking about how the robo taxi stuff with Tesla and all these other different vehicles that could be releasing it in the future is going to really hurt companies like Uber and Lyft. And I think potentially in like the suburb areas, you could see that, but where are the vast majority? I'd have to look at this a little bit deeper, but I think the vast majority of like Uber and Lyft's revenue is coming from cities anyway. And the one thing you have to realize about cities is parking. Just because the car drives itself doesn't mean that it can park anywhere. If everybody starts to buy these types of vehicles and they're going to go from A to B, to wherever they're going, well, you still need to park that vehicle. In Boston specifically, there's no parking anywhere. So you would still need something like Uber and Lyft, even with a robo taxi type vehicle taking care of those rides. Now, what it actually could also do is make Uber and Lyft a little bit more profitable because they don't need to pay as many drivers. So the spread that they're making on all of the charges. So like when they charge, let's say $20 for a ride, they're paying the drivers X percentage of that or whatever it is. Well, if the cars are able to drive themselves, well, they don't need to pay that anymore and could then make a little bit of money. Now, is that good for the employees or not employees, but the drivers of Uber? Not necessarily, but for the overall structure and functioning of that business and the potential for their margins going forward, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They will buy property for the robotaxi hub. You're not going to be able to get enough of it. Just to think about it in a city, there's not enough room in a city to be able to do that. Yeah, Christopher, that is going to take a little time. But remember, I mean, you just hopped into those courses, what, this past week? Make sure, I mean, I think it would be impossible for you to go through all of those testing videos where I show you why it's had over 15 winning months in a row with that day trading strategy I teach you in that course there. But let's see. But yeah, it takes a little time, but once you see it and it clicks for you, you can't unsee it. It's dirty. So what do we got here? About 20 minutes to go until market open, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. Let's have another great week. Let's have another great week. I mean, I'm looking to trade a little bit more shares than I typically would, just because of the way the market's looking, just hanging out at these levels. I mean, you are kind of trading off all-time highs a little bit. I saw an interesting statistic the other day as well, where it's like from 1950, I believe, until now, 6.7% or so of days in the market are hitting all-time highs, and 30% of those days are creating price floors, which I think is an interesting statistic. And then you look at when you're buying, like if you buy market all-time highs, the returns are actually pretty solid. So that's an interesting thing to take a look at there, and could be something that we could exploit an edge on, very similar to the overnight strategy that I've given you guys for free out on my YouTube channel that just absolutely prints with knowing nothing about the market. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. No, I appreciate all you guys too. You guys are awesome. Dude, you guys, R Mac, what's up, man? Dude, I kind of want to go to the Derby now and watch watch that horse win, man. It's the favorite now. It's the favorite now. For now it is. I think there's a couple more races, but I don't know if they're gonna run all the horses and or race them all in those. But dude, this weekend was insane. Like I've had the opportunity to do some pretty cool things sometimes, and this weekend kind of takes the cake of kind of who I was able to meet and who I'm talking to. And it's funny. I'm sitting there sometimes, and sometimes they think I'm like somebody's like child sitting there, because I do look young. And then I talk to them for a little bit, and then I think they sort of start to get a little. They're like, oh, this is different, which is cool, which is very cool. You got to be useful, ladies and gentlemen. Connections like that event are gold. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna tell you who I was talking to and everything like that, but it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts, and it kind of makes me think about. And I've thought about this before, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I've slowed down a lot on doing the club nonsense and the cars and things like that. It's like the game you want to play is not what you see everybody on social media doing. I'll put it that way. Anybody you see out there that's like, ooh, look at my Lambo or doing all this stuff, it's like, look at my designer clothes. Yeah, okay. All right. Cool. Good for you. Good for you. Have fun. Do your thing. But it's awesome. Yeah, these people are cool. So I might go on another trip this weekend. I don't know though. I don't know. I have like stuff I'd have to do in Nashville as well. This is like for the other stuff that I do, which we don't really talk about on the stream, and we probably won't. Maybe, I mean, it could be worthwhile to do that at some point, but I don't think so. I got a lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a small fraction of what I work on a day-to-day basis with you guys, which is nice. I mean, that's kind of why the strategies are able to work so well. And especially for a lot of you guys that have like 9-to-5 jobs that are sitting there like, man, I can't really sit here and stare at the market all day long. Neither can I, man. Neither can I. So when we're able to identify, especially these swing trades, you guys know the deal. Spend time in a landfill, smell like a landfill. Spend more time in places with people you want to smell. All right, Wreck-It Ralph. All right, buddy. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Where are yields right now? How's TLT looking? TLT is getting hammered. TLT yields are up. Where's the 10-year? 442, 444. Oh my God. Hood. I mean, we can take a look at Hood. That actually could look interesting over the next few weeks here. I mean, I think it's the weekly that I've really been looking at on this. Nah, never mind. It might have been something else. But yeah, if that thing starts to settle in up in here, create a little range, I'd be very interested in that. TLT's just been getting wrecked. Yeah, I mean, from that identification level from sub 85 all the way up to 100, there's been a lot of things that have started to shift with those rate cut expectations. A lot of things have been starting to shift. Oh, shoot, I got a new suit. I got so many new suits this week, too. That was on Thursday, guys. I was like, all right, well, a lot of my suits that I have are not here. And I like needed new suits. I just walked over to like Newberry and just started going wild buying suits. Dude, we were up 20% last week. That's one of the most insane things that you like with very minimal risk in the market with that ACB and SLV trade. Even with the stop outs on, or the, I mean, they were basically, the RKT was just realizing profits. The only one that took a little paper cut was the Kava, but then just came out swinging with ACB and SLV. And we absolutely crushed it this week, ladies and gentlemen, or last week. Sorry. But one last thing on the weekend and kind of how it relates to social media and the people that you see. Lockheed, we'll talk about that in a second. I'll tell you now, there are 0 people out there on the internet that I've ever seen that operate at a level at which you would want to listen to them for. And I mean, I've had the opportunity to learn from some of the most successful people in this game since I was 14 years old. So to me, I think that would be a great disservice to everybody else for me not coming out here and sharing those skills and knowledge to you guys as well. So for those of you guys that are new, that's really what we do around here. I know a lot of you guys love trading, and we love it too. But making sure that you guys understand about how markets actually function, how the news relates to be a more well-rounded market participant is, again, going to make sure that you can take advantage of really solid movements in the market where the times in the market are not the ones where everybody's making money. Like the last 6 months, you could have thrown money at anything and had a good time, especially after Powell last November started to kind of say, all right, we're looking like we're at the peak of our interest rate hiking cycle. We could easily start to move back down if the data looks good. And even though now we're starting to see things start to move in the other direction where they're a little bit more cautious with rates, there is still a boatload of opportunity in the market. And the way to be able to identify that is understanding where the money likes to flow. Lockheed, we can take a look at because I've been interested in this one, but interesting. Oh, this thing really did rip. Oh, shoot. So this was kind of I was drawing this at the airport when I was traveling. So this one looks interesting to me. We don't have the confirmed war. I'm not in this. This is just where I wanted. I was in the airport. I couldn't really do much. So that was kind of where I wanted it. I wasn't able to take advantage of this one. There is still a level to break up here at 456 to get maybe a move. So you'd move something up in here. But yeah, I mean, this one looks good. I don't think we necessarily have confirmed the media narrative that World War III is on the table with Ukraine joining NATO. I don't think we've quite confirmed that yet, which is one of the reasons why I didn't enter. But that is definitely going to be something to look out for as a rotation. Now, we also have some biotechs in there as well this week. I'm not really sure I want to be screwing around all that much with those, but those energy stocks that I was giving you guys that are in IWM, I think have some juice on them this week. So we'll see what happens. If they want to get going, we'll be able to take advantage of them. Hopefully have another really, really solid week. I would not expect to do what we did last week with the ACB trade, but you paper handed those RTX. No, I did. It was a weekly time frame setup that I tried to identify on the daily. So, I mean, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect in the market, but I tried to identify this one in here. If you flip this to the larger time frame, there was an absolutely picture perfect setup on the weekly down in here off of this breakout level right here above 91.27 this day high. So again, you can't hit them all. CLS. Oh yeah, sorry about that. CLSK. Let's take a look there. So this is the weekly. Let's see how the daily. The daily doesn't. I'm not a big fan of the daily here. Remember, guys, I gave you CLSK. I think it was here. So the last time I gave you CLSK MicroStrategy for all of you guys in the Swing Kings course, I mean, the Coinbase ones that I had that week were up 500% in a day. And MicroStrategy in the weeks and months following after that, where was it? Where was it? I think it was here. Yeah, it was here. The stock ended up doubling. So we're always going to get you guys set up to identify the stocks that are about to explode before they do. Do I know that they're going to go as crazy as they do all the time? Not necessarily, but we're always going to be in the position to make sure that we capitalize on those things. Very similar to what we did with ACB right here. This was the trade last week that really turbocharged the gains that I know a lot of you guys took advantage of, which I'm very proud of a lot of you guys for identifying that as well. Because remember, I don't have to directly say anything to you guys. It's all about teaching you how to fish. So this one ended up running to a 1 to 16 risk to reward. The scale outs were 525, 7, and 816. After we ran through this 7 TP, move stops up to 6. After we ran up to that 816 TP, move stops up to 7. My final take profit on the ACB trade was at about a 1 to 11 risk to reward on the remaining position, which was absolutely disgusting. Well, that's not 816. This is 816 here. Sorry. Where is this? Yeah, so that's where I sold it. So it was a 1 to 16 risk to reward on ACB. That was dirty. Absolutely filthy. And we haven't mentioned it yet today, but for those of you guys that still are on the sidelines and want to give yourselves a fighting chance in the market, all my education right now, 50% off. I'm not here to overcharge you guys on anything. It's one-time fee. Once you guys hop in there, you always have access to me to answer questions, to make sure that you guys are understanding things. Just select the all-in-one access one if that's what you're interested in. And you get that day trading mastery course strategy, which we go over like everything about trading and options, breaking those down, futures, how the futures market works. And I give you guys that strategy that has an insane monthly winning streak. What do we got here? DJT sitting at the 618. I mean, if it gets to the 786, I might touch it, but I don't think so. That's lower. No, from this low. No, that's probably down at the 786. Immediate. No. This is way lower. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know where you're getting that one from, but yeah, I don't really want to go anywhere near this thing. DJT. It's a little bit too volatile for me to want to take a bite on anywhere. But we'll see. We will see. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to extend the stream today, 150 likes on the stream. That's the price. You guys, I think you guys could do it today. Thoughts on Jamie Dimon saying interest rates could hit 8? I don't think the 10-year is going at 8. That would be not good. No, it'd be horrendous. But the Fed would have to hike in order to get that up there. I don't think the Fed is going to hike again. Here's what I think the Fed should do. And I think we've gone over this a little bit. The Fed needs to make it abundantly clear to all market participants, in my opinion, that when they do their first rate cut, which I still think June is on the table, some people are saying September, that we are not going into a cutting cycle that would crush it. No, it would crush TLT. But I mean, the shares on it. I mean, if you guys went with shares, you're still sitting at a really, really, really nice buffer. But going back to what we need to think about with the Fed here is if they back off interest rates by, let's say, 25 basis points of cuts in June and then just wait until September, that's not a cutting cycle. And that's what the market needs to realize, because the Fed can try and thread the needle and provide a little bit of relief to the real estate sector and some of the other sectors that are really struggling with these high interest rates, while still allowing the other elements of sticky inflation to start moving to the downside. Remember the treadmill example that we talk about? Where we're discussing like the stamina level of the person on the treadmill, where if you cut interest rates a little bit and you decrease the speed at which the treadmill is running, yeah, you might get a little relief for a second, but it's still going to make you tired if you leave interest rates at those higher levels for longer, even if you get a cut. You don't want, so Ralph, I don't think it's that you don't want cuts, it's that you don't want a full-blown cutting cycle, which is a very big difference. Also, I'll give you guys one interesting thing that I have heard a lot of. When I speak to individuals that are either in, let's say, the finance industry, or just like, let's just say, like high net worth individuals, you know what they ask me about a lot now? They're asking me a lot about Bitcoin, especially with the rollout of the ETFs over the last few months. A cutting cycle would imply something is going wrong. Well, in order to get to a full cutting cycle, you would need to see GDP growth slow, the unemployment rate go from that, well, now 3.8 to above 4. 100% agree. Right. I think the Fed can try and thread the needle and accomplish that, the theoretical soft landing, and get there. But I think it's interesting. A lot of people are asking about Bitcoin. A lot of people are. And I say it the same way that I say it to you guys when you guys ask about it in the chat. The most simple way to think about Bitcoin here is asking a very simple question. Do you think inflation is going to somehow magically go away? Or do you think inflation is going to be around for the time being in perpetuity into the future? To me, I think it's going to be around for a very significant period of time, just by the way the overall monetary system works, the way it's set up currently. And I think things like Bitcoin could have an effect on that. Rate cuts would boost TLT. Yes, rate cuts would definitely boost TLT. But and you guys can see that very simply on the charts, where you look at last November when Powell started to come out and people started front running rate cuts and started pricing it in March, and TLT went from 83 to 101. What do you think about Lulu? Let's take a look at Lulu. I think Lulu's gotten hit pretty hard. Yeah, I'm not interested in this. Again, guys, this is not going to fit the setup that I teach you guys. And you guys know just how disgustingly powerful it is. So if it isn't broken and it's not going to fit into what we want to look for any day in the market, it basically might as well not exist to us. How does that play into the idea that Bitcoin is deflationary against the central bank currencies? I wouldn't call it deflationary. I would frame it in a different way. It's not deflationary in terms of the currencies. It benefits with inflation and money printing, which is not going to stop. Like, you guys got to think about this too. We have this year $7.6 trillion of United States debt matures. They have to roll that out. Now, all right, let's talk about this too, because I don't think we've mentioned this to you guys yet. Well, if you look at overall, basically entitlement spending and interest expense, that's kind of the U.S.'s obligations. Like you could think about it as fixed costs almost. They do change a little bit, so it's almost a hybrid fixed cost, because those entire things like that are going to change. But that's about what you would expect the U.S. to pay every single year. Now, there's a lot of data out there that show that we could easily get to the point in the next, I think it's 7 years, but let's say 10, that the U.S. tax revenues are not going to be able to pay for all of the Medicare, Social Security, interest expense, and all of those other different programs that the United States government offers. What happens then? What happens then? The only way out is to print. The way that I don't want to go on these like rabbit holes with you guys. But it isn't a rabbit hole. The only way out is to inflate away the issue. You inflate away the debt. You export inflation to other countries. Tax revenues are already short. Not from the data that I've seen. It's short in terms of like overall, but like you don't really make enough to obviously pay for everything. But all right, guys, 1 minute to go until the market opens. Here we go, everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in, and let's get after it today, huh? Let's get after it. Oh, also, I think Apex Trader Funding is still having that 80% off sale for you guys. If you guys want to get a funded futures account, 80% off and 1 day to pass. I can throw that link in the live chat there for you guys too. Just if you guys are interested in that, just click that link. I think if you end up getting something, I make like $2, but it's a good deal. The only thing you got to worry about on Apex is that trailing drawdown. But again, trade smart. Trade smart. You guys have any questions about that trailing drawdown? Just message me, ask me in the live chat. And that goes for everything. If you guys have it, CYTK is up. So I have 2 alerts on this one. Hold on. Civi's not doing it. This one's not there. This one needs time. This would be the one that I would look for. This is going to be 5 or 15 minute opening range, I think. So if I do anything on this one, it's a pharma though. I want the energy ones. This is the one that I'm really interested in. Civi. That's the one that I'm really interested in this week. Where's silver? Where's silver? Because those contracts, if silver's up at those levels, could be, yeah, there we go. So what is silver looking at right here? What are my contracts up on those? 209% on the silver contracts that I have. Those are free. Those are free. I mean, I'm not going to be looking to ditch any of that until we get up here because we've already made the money on it. This consolidating, I really like. I really do like that. ES kind of flickering around. We could have some opportunity here on some pretty crazy day trades this week too, which I think is going to be a pretty big focus of mine over the next couple of weeks. I mean, again, guys, I've been so busy with things that, and again, the swings have been going so incredibly well for us that there hasn't really been, I mean, you guys have seen it. Those of you guys that are paying attention to the watch list on the Swing Kings course and what we talk about on the stream have been crushing it. So we'll see what we get. I mean, I really wish I was in on this one. I was looking at this on Thursday and I didn't get it, but it's all right. I know a lot of you guys did. This one I nailed. It was a 5-minute one from what I talked about with you. This is going to be strange, I think. This is going to be a weird one. I don't know. Maybe I might take a little bit of less risk on that one. Throw like 0.5%, 1% on it. If I end up doing it. There. Civi. That's kind of the main one on my watch list here. The reason for this is that if you look at all the oil companies, all the energy companies, they've been rocketing. Like oil has been hot. So I think going for some of those names that are still looking good with like, let's take a look at some of the oil companies here. Like where's Exxon? How's this doing today? Exxon, I mean, it's flat, but you can see just how nasty this has moved. Same thing with CL, oil prices across the board. Uranium, Quad U, energy fuels over here. This little break and retest could get interesting, especially with those war fears. How's Lockheed looking over here? I mean, this is not, I'm not in this one. I wish I was. I was actually looking for something on this. The contracts were a little pricey. I was at the airport. I couldn't really do much with it. Doge. I mean, I'm not really interested in doing anything on Doge right now, but I know Tor, who's in the live chat right now, hit one of the dirtiest trades with the Swing Kings course on Dogecoin. What was it, buddy? 1 to 36 risk to reward, 1 to 40. I mean, speaks for itself at this point. Let's see. This has my attention. This one it's just gonna be whippy. And that's what I'm worried about. I might wait for a 15-minute opening range on this one just because I'm not as familiar with it. It's a healthcare company. It's going to be I think 15-minute opening range on that one's going to be the way to go, especially if you're breaking that upside level. There is another one up here that I'm interested in. So, I mean, if we end up getting up there, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Yeah, Tor, 1 to 40. That's insane. Great work there, man. That's an epic trade. The swing strategy is the truth, folks. Thanks, bud. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, you look at what the most successful people of all time have done. I put my own twist on it, and then you're hitting 1 to 40s on Dogecoin. Like, all right, Lockheed screwing around. This freaking thing. Civi, I still want it above 76.46. That's going to be, again, not a lot of these are options trades. I don't think any of them really are. I think the chain would be absolutely horrendous for us. So these would be shares trades for me. But you guys see the power of trading shares sometimes too. I mean, I was up 20% last week trading, I mean, a little option trade on silver, and then at Aurora Cannabis just was an absolutely picture perfect one. Palantir, how is Palantir looking this morning? It's looking all right. It's looking all right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are slacking on the like button here. Uh-oh. I don't think you guys are going to be able to get to that 150 to extend the stream today. Let's see. Where's ES? Moving down a little. What's this low here? 52.36. That might be an opportunity. Yeah, this thing's flipping around. At 23 level. Swinging is where it's at. Yeah. And I say this a lot. Most of you guys should have your main focus on as being a swing trader and then day trade in the meantime. Less trades, more profits. I mean, even the day trading mastery course strategy is nasty. Yeah, I wonder where this level would be. It's probably down in here, 52.46, something like that. I don't know. On Solana, if it fits the setup, I would do it, but I don't think it's going to. It's close. I would look more so at this at the weekly. And I honestly would probably play this break, 203, 204, right around there. Let the EMAs catch up. Let it do its thing. Swing Kings, baby. Let's get those likes up. Oh, thank you, Mo. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, and then, what do you call it? We got some epic masterminds for you guys this week as well that took advantage of that. On the 1 minute? No. Are you talking about the 1 month or the 1 minute? We're not trading crypto on the 1 minute, pal. That's it. That's how you lose all your money. Hold on. Are you telling me to trade something right now? And I think, all right. So I'm not sure exactly what this guy's saying, but I think this is a good learning lesson here for everybody. The reason why I'm able to have success in the market, and the reason why so many of you guys have seen your performance drastically change for the better when operating in the market the way we do with Swing Kings and the Day Trading Mastery course, is that we are so focused on what we're looking to accomplish in the market. What most people do, and we say this all the time, is they enter the market every single day and they treat it like their job or like they're in school or something like that, where they have to do XYZ things in a day in order to maintain their employment status. Trading is not that. I can go weeks at a time with not taking a trade because I'm only looking for the highest quality setup that fits exactly what my data shows me I should be doing. It's all data. Your only job in the market is to be a steward of your system. Nothing more, nothing less. Trying to take trades just to take trades is the main reason why most people fail in the market. The strategy is good. Thank you, Caesar. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate all the kind words, guys. I love it. I mean, I would never give you guys something that I don't use, that hasn't been tested, and that doesn't work really well. This one I am very interested in. CYTK. I mean, maybe a little 15-minute opening range one, but looking at this on the daily here, why does this look so different? Oh, because it hit this breakout level. That's why. Any Tilray this morning? Probably not. I've done what I needed to do on the weed stocks. So I'm out of MSOS. I'm out of ACB. We might get another setup on it, but I mean, the weekly on it looks pretty dirty. It's up 4% here. This was good, but again, the reason why we picked ACB was because it fit the setup the best. And you can see that was the one that ran 1 to 16. The thing I've learned is to be patient and disciplined. I refer to you as Mr. Miyagi, and the stocks are like bonsai trees. Mo, that's a great way to put it, man. That is a great way to put it. Yeah, I mean, I might wait for this thing to break this 74.57. Here we go on Civi. What's the low here? That's actually not bad. I mean, what would the... Oops. Let's just see. If it gets up there, how would this look today? What's this? That's not bad. The first TP, 1 to 3.4 approximately. That would not be bad for first TP there if it ended up doing this. So I don't know. Let's see what happens with that. If it ends up coming up, starting to get some moves higher, that one's my top watch of the week. ES moving down. SWVL, what a wild ticker. Yeah, we can take a look at that. SWVL. Yeah, that thing has been a monster. Question about the poor man's covered call. Would TLT be a good option due to low IV? Yeah, I mean, you're basically doing calendar spreads. So you're buying in the money calls and selling leaps, shorter expiration calls against it. So yeah, I mean, that could be a decent one. What about it on the daily? The daily doesn't look very good to me, 1v2, for what I like to trade. The weekly, though, remember, and again, 1v2, I'm not coming after you here. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys are set up to have the most success that you guys possibly could while eliminating the mistakes that most new traders make. The daily doesn't look great. The weekly looks okay on Solana, but I wouldn't buy it until it's up above 204. And you might be thinking, well, if you think it's going to go above 204, why wouldn't you buy it now? It's like, well, it hasn't shown me that it wants to validate above those levels yet. So there's nothing to do. NEE move. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on. Oh, come on, NEE. Oh, XLU. Utilities. Yep. Here we go. So these are the two sectors that I've been paying attention to. XLE, XLU, and then some of the energy tickers that are in IWM. You mean Bitcoin? Oh, you can take a look at Bitcoin on the daily. Bitcoin on the daily, I mean, this is not going to fit the setup that I would like to trade, but it could lead to something in a Mara or something like that. Mara's up a little bit this morning from where it was, but it sold off from these highs. I've kind of mapped out what I've wanted to see on Mara from you guys, or for you guys. I really want to see this thing drop a lot more, pop back up, shift trend, and then give me another opportunity like these two trades that I called out for you guys. This one, 1,200% options trade. I didn't execute the best that I possibly could have on this one. This was 600% to the second take profit, which was good. But this chart right here of Mara, Affirm here, this one was filthy. RKT down in here. I mean, we manhandled RKT a couple times over the last few weeks. This one was filthy. But this is the main reason why I wanted to trade shares on the ACV, because again, I had to deal with all the theta, the expiration dates and things like that. I mean, yeah, obviously we're going to still trade the options on some things, but the ones that are hated and then can start shifting back to the upside, you can get a really crazy risk to reward on the shares there if you trade it smartly the way I teach you. Let's see here. I think I know what this is doing. DJT options pay fast on scalping. Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they're freaking nuts. All right. Yeah, nothing is quite validating for me yet on anything. This I don't really love. The 5 minutes whippy. What's the market cap on these things? 7 billion. All right, that's fine. 8 billion, 7 billion. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. And again, team, all I ask for around here, hit that like button on the way. It makes it a lot easier for you guys to find these streams back here again. But we're going hunting this week. We are going hunting. But again, like I teach you guys all the time, when we have really, really good weeks, especially like what we saw last week, there's no reason to do anything crazy. There is no reason to try and be a hero. The thing that you should do is actually almost the opposite and make sure that you're taking the highest quality setups that you possibly can. Did this just do what I think it just did? Oh, it didn't hit. Oh, that was so close though. Oh, so close. MCD, what an ugly daily. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Oh my God. Ugh. Ugh. How's Boeing doing? I don't think I flew on a Boeing plane at all this weekend. Did I bet a lot on the horse races? No. I actually, so again, guys, I try not to bet on things if 1 point off. Damn, that was a close one, man. Yeah, I try not to put any risk on with anything if I don't have an edge. Everybody that I was hanging around with was they know what I do in the market and things like that, and they're like, let's see if you can use your math on what we're doing here with the horse races. So I'm looking through it, and the one question that I had for everybody is, are there different lines? Like, are there different odds at, like, say, different books? And they're not. So there's not really a way to get positive expected value bets. So for me, with my inexperience in horse racing, like betting on horses, you're just throwing, for me, it would be just throwing money at the wall and hoping. So, but I was talking about my beginner's luck, and I did find $5 in my pocket. So I threw a super on the race that was the big one. So close. Would have been the first day trade I've gotten since taking the classes. Yeah, that was a close one. But you're going to see that. Like, you'll get wicked in, you'll get wicked out, but unless you get some inside info from the horse. No, but the big race, which I think I told you guys the name, didn't I? I mean, I'm not going to say it here, but you guys will know. It's the freaking favorite in the Derby now. But I think the beginner's luck that I had there wasn't on the little $5 super that I threw down, but it was that horse performing incredibly well, and where we got to go after. And again, it was a great weekend. Like, I was able to go places at that track that somebody the first time going should not be able to go to. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, man. Everybody was awesome. Like, it was one of the best experiences that I've had. Looked awesome. Yeah, man, we're walking up and I'm like, oh yeah, we'll be in a box. We'll be doing stuff. We're at the best place you could possibly be at this place. The bartender was like, I think you could outdrink me on the tequila. I was like, I haven't even gotten started yet here, buddy. I'm just having a couple drinks, having a good time talking to people. Civi, I mean, this is no entry yet. I needed to pop up into here. So I just have this drawn out for us to see what's going to happen. I read on Kentucky Wikipedia Friday when I tweeted it, and they mentioned the horse races and directly thought that's where you're going. Yeah. When you lived in Louisville, you used to always hit the Derby. Good times. Yeah. At Churchill. Yeah. I might go. Operation find a date to go to the Kentucky Derby is a go. But I can't bring anyone. Like, you can't. I'd rather go alone than have a risk there. But I do want to go to the Derby. So I gotta see what the deal is with that. Which tickets? It's gonna be expensive. We gotta hit some. We gotta do some pretty crazy trades in order to keep going. Casamigos. They were. My buddy was like, when we were in this room, he was like, "Go get some Pappy." Send location. I'll be your date. Sorry, Moto. No, but I do need to. If I'm gonna do that, I need to find a date to the Derby. You can buy shares on horses. Oh, I know. I actually kind of want to do it. I think it's not actually not that bad. Especially, well, you got to know some people. I don't know them, so I'd have to put some trust in the people that I do know, which I would, obviously, but to be able to get in on some of those things. And let's see what we got here. Civi's not going. What about like Amazon? How are the big names doing this week? Like, where's AMD? How's this looking? Ugh. Where's Sox ass? This thing's kind of chilling. I am interested in this thing if it can pop above these levels here. This 353. I'd be interested in that potentially. Once you're in on that circle, the money spent on staking horses pays back long term. Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I wouldn't just do that because there are certain clubs that then you can. The way I understand it is there's certain like social clubs that you can then join if you're a part of that, and they're pretty cool. You meet a lot of interesting people. So I mean, it's fun, man. And what I don't want to harp on this too much, but I want to make sure that you guys understand the amount of knowledge that is going to be given to you guys because of all these other things that I do. And you guys see it already. Like learning and hearing these types of opinions on how people view markets, the world is very valuable to how we operate on a day-to-day basis. We can delete this. We don't need this right now. Nvidia on the struggle bus. Yeah, it does look like that. So this one is interesting to me. I probably would wait for this thing to break above some of these levels here. 80-20. I mean, it's got to make a pretty big move in order for me to say that is validated. This one, I am still very interested. If you want to consolidate for a few days, that's fine with me. I'm in no rush to do anything crazy. Where's silver? How's silver looking today? Did that thing sell off or? Yeah, a little bit, but still up nicely. Those contracts were up over 200% at one point. They're probably still up like 194, 192.50. That's good. Can you laugh like Beavis and Butthead? I don't know what that is. 1000% learning from you and others in here has been amazing. Awesome, Tor. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, especially in I don't want to take away from you guys that are older. But I know there's a lot of young people in here. I think Tor's around my age, but there are some other youngins in here that I'm very happy that you guys are able to learn these things about the market and finance in general at the ages that you guys are at, because that's going to be a lifelong skill that nobody can take away from you. Same thing with the way that we operate in the market. ACB wants to go again. What the heck was that? Yeah, ACB is actually could give us round 2. I honestly, if we get some nice consolidation on ACB, I might take a little re-entry on it. Obviously, this would be more towards the end of this week, but I would not hate that. I think they're really starting the construction out here on the building outside, so we might get some noise. Yeah, I kind of do want to buy a stake in a horse though, or there's other ways to do it. Like you can kind of spread it around, things like that. But I don't know. That would be something that I'm interested in. So who needs a crazy car when you can do things like that? All these people renting Lambos and have these silly diamond watches on the internet. Yeah, geniuses right there. Real smart people. Can I look at AI? Yes, I can. Will I stream the solar eclipse? No, I will not. Let's see. AI. Oof, this thing's just been beaten, man. I mean, we had some potential on this thing with this break here, and you just couldn't get the follow through. The AI theme is, especially on these kind of not lesser known ones, but not the main ones, have just been beaten. TLT is trying to go green. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to stream the solar eclipse, but it'll be cool. That's today, right? I think over here it's 3 o'clock. Learn polo. We had polo. I mean, I've been to a bunch of polo stuff before. Looks rough. Yeah. Affirm. I've been interested in, man. Affirm, I've been it. Nah, it just needs. I mean, we can delete all these. But come on, delete. Yeah, we don't need any of these up here now. We need a new range of consolidation where we're not seeing it yet. This is what we're looking for, guys. We're looking for stocks that are giving us this look. The Bitcoin halving is yet to come. Would you recommend buying Bitcoin now before it goes up too much? Well, typically the Bitcoin halving, I mean, again, past performance is not an indication of future results, but typically it sells off on the halving and then starts to really go. Needs a push. On Affirm, you absolutely would need a bigger push. You're smack in the middle of totality, going to be pretty cool. What do you mean by that, Nettie? What's my favorite sport? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I like F1. I like horse racing. I like football. I'm not a big basketball fan. Also, shout out to UConn, man. UConn going to the finals. BYD Nvidia partnership here isn't good news for Nvidia. No, those BYD cars though are cool looking. Have you seen like and they're fast too, I think. Golf? Oh yeah, golf's got to be way out. I love golf, man. That's a good skill though. That's a good skill to know how to do. Play golf, tennis. I'm pretty good at tennis. Have I told you guys why I'm good at tennis before? I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I tell you guys some things and then I forget why if I've told you them or not. I don't know. I like to keep most things a little. Yeah. So this one's just consolidating. We can delete this for now. Still have our alerts up here. I love this look though. I really do love this look on Civi here. I don't think I'll be front running it. I want that confirmation, that validation that that it wants to move higher, and then we'll see. Pickleball, nah. I'm not a big pickleball fan. Tesla near high of day. Let's take a look. I'm telling you, we're gonna get something on Tesla here over the next few months, I think, and it's gonna be a good one. LGVN on the 1 day. Yeah, let's take a look at that, man. Longeveron. Well, you couldn't. So here's the thing: if you guys have bought this down here, I mean, good for you. The problem is you're just trying to catch a falling knife and playing news. This is not strategy based. This is gambling. Yin, how's Yin? Dad was a tennis pro. Yeah, semi-pro. How's Yin doing? Yin, there we go. Oh, this actually looks. It's very gappy. So I mean, remember, I have like that. I bought like $9,000 worth of shares a couple weeks ago. I like this as something to have in the big long term. There. Yeah. So I just became randomly good at tennis. Twilio on the weekly. Let's actually take a look at that. That might have my attention. I haven't taken a look at Twilio in a while, but there have been some instances where it's looked pretty good. Oh yeah. Nah. All right. So the problem with this is, yes, it looks okay, but I would lean more towards a downside setup on this than an upside setup. That's the problem that I see with Twilio here. Yeah, the daily looks okay too, but it's very similar to what we were talking about, especially with you guys in the mastermind with the Tesla internal trend shift, where the longer time frame trend is still saying that this thing is downtrending. So in this scenario right here with Tesla, this was where we were looking for that 206 breakout level right here, but you can see it's just coming up and kissing the EMA. Now, obviously, we wouldn't have taken the trade until it validates above, but you can see it just moves right back to the downside. That's basically what Twilio looks like here. Look, you just popped up, consolidated, and if this thing breaks down, it's probably coming down to 56, 55, 50. Now, the daily, though, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. But I would wait for that weekly to start validating a little bit more. You know, I just look at the trend. The trend is down. ES not really giving us much here yet. We'll see what we can get on this today. I think it could be a fun one with ES. But Reaper, that's good identification there. But I would also say make sure you're paying attention because I think you're in the mastermind as well. Make sure you're able to make sure that you're identifying those internal shifts. ALCC. Yeah. So here's the deal. 1v2. And again, I think I honestly think that you're coming into the market with good intentions. I just think that you're making the mistakes that a lot of new traders make. This stock has gone from $10 to 14 in a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. This does not make any sense to buy. You're chasing. You're just chasing. The name of the game is finding out how to find stocks that are about to explode before they do. That's what it's all about. It's not, oh, a stock's up 100% and trying to buy it before when they're knifing and doing things like that. That's how you lose all of your money. So what I would say to you, 1v2, is hang around these streams, look at the types of tickers that I'm identifying, and then when you really want to be put in shown kind of the right direction there, again, all that education is 50% off. If that's something you're interested in, go for it. If not, you hanging around the streams is going to really, really help you out over the long term, especially if you're looking for things like this. And the live chat can tell you too, like, this doesn't make sense, man. Is car setting up? We can take a look. It's weekly, maybe. Maybe it's just not clean. This, if I were to give this on a scale, I'd say this is C+. I'd say that's C+. This is the one that I'm the most interested in this week, Civi. And we'll probably find some more. How's Yin doing? Is that still above 20? I want that thing to break above 21, and it's flickering. Little chasey. Yeah, it's very chasey. You guys don't want to be chasing things in the market. You want to let the best trades just come to you. Like, do you guys see how relaxed I was yesterday? Or not yesterday, sorry. Last week with ACB in that one day where it ended up dropping 11% after I had already scaled out. It runs, I mean, I was entering down here. And then it runs up, hits our third take profit at 1 to 16. Then it comes down the next day, stops me at, or I think it was this day too. Stops me at 7 for that 1 to 11. I mean, it's just nice, relaxed, very, very simple, but incredibly effective trading. Let's see here. Yeah, but keep calling out takers. We still need to find some more. I think Civi's got some potential for us this week. I think WFRD, I think this one could definitely get interesting if we can kind of consolidate into these EMAs like you've seen it do many times. You entered early on Civi, only risk 0.5%. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want to wait for that level to the upside there because it hasn't quite confirmed yet. It hasn't quite confirmed yet. Yeah, I'm basically flat on the day here so far. There's no, I haven't seen anything good. That 150% SPX trade though on, I think it was Thursday, was pretty good. That was a nice one. That was a real nice trade there. Let's see. How you guys doing on the like button? Oh, you're slacking. You got what, 30 minutes left to go to get the like button to 150 to extend the stream. Let's see if you guys can do it. I still am interested in this one, but I kind of want it to break above this high that it got sold off on. What is this? 74.68. We can move this up a little. It's being a little a-hole, but we can leave that there. Bitcoin rips past 70K. Why would miners drop hard? The miners would drop due to the selling the news event going into the halving where they could potentially be making less money. Potentially. Even though Bitcoin could start moving up and the Bitcoin that they end up mining is going to be more valuable, they could sell off on that. ACB back over 7. This thing, give it a week. This could give us a second look. But this was perfect. It was just perfect. Like there was no the execution on ACB was just, you can't get much better than that. Oh, and then masterminds tomorrow with you guys. So we've got a great mastermind week for, oh my God, it's The PowerPoints I was finalizing for you guys this week are, get ready. Get ready. And I think one of the most awesome things that I saw from the mastermind was I forget who it was. It might have been Andrew. Sent me a message, and he's going through some of his homework, and he sends me a message and he says, "I already know how to do all this stuff because of the mastermind." In his finance classes, I was like, "Yep, that's what it's all about, man. Good on you guys taking advantage of everything. You guys are going to be set for life. Once you've developed these skills, nobody can take them away from you." ES flickering a little here. It's just chopping. I think we're going to be in for a little bit of chop here too, just because we have CPI Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? CPI is Wednesday. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday and then Thursday. Yeah, CPI is Wednesday. Thursday is going to be PPI. So we're going to do a little early stream on Wednesday, guys, for CPI. That'll be fun. See how that reacts. And I think we got to kind of go through that report a little bit more in depth this week, especially with what happened with non-farm payrolls on Friday, where you guys saw me sitting on the stream. And with that headline data, I was like, there's no reason why this market should be running up. But then looking at the data in a little bit more detail, what do you see? Oh yeah, and we haven't really talked about this yet. The job growth that you saw. Oh yeah, we were supposed to talk about this earlier. The job growth that we saw in the non-farm payroll report was not full-time employment. Full-time employment was down, I believe, about 6,000 jobs. Bank earnings, yeah, end of this week and into next week too is bank earnings. But those job numbers were very, very, very strange, but incredibly important. We saw full-time employment going down, but part-time employment skyrocketing. So I don't really want to talk about one of the first reasons, because I mean YouTube might come after me for it. What I really think is one of the main driving factors for the spike in. We'll talk about Docu after this, Josh. But one of the main reasons why you're seeing a spike in part-time employment is because of those sticky elements of inflation. If you look at the surveys and where people are cutting costs with the higher cost of living that you're seeing, Christopher, there you go, man. Where you're seeing that higher cost of living, it's very, very bad that you're seeing people taking on second jobs, because it's showing you that the inflationary pressures in the market are still really handcuffing everyday Americans. Now, the market basically interpreted that as saying, well, they think that part-time employment spikes are going to be transitory and then it's not that big of a deal. I personally think it's a pretty big deal that you're still seeing those effects coming through the overall market. Also, with those of you guys in the day trading mastery course, this trade to me would not qualify, just because of where it came down to, how close it went, and how close it ran back up to that first take profit there. So for me, I would not take this. But again, if you guys want to do it, it's your money. Do what you got to do. It still could work. It still could work. Lots of people are struggling. Exactly. That's what it shows. Can you short gold? Why? Why? GLD is it's coming down a little, but that's been on a ripper. I was thinking if people taking secondary jobs could be a mix of inflation, but as well maybe a lot of people use credit to live and higher rates hurting. It's an across the board problem. It's an across the board issue, guys. And I don't really foresee it getting any better. And this is the one thing that I talk about a lot, whether it's with you guys or the people that I kind of talk to in my everyday personal life, whether it's with the other stuff that I do or just the some of the connections I have. It's, if you look at what happens when inflation starts to really get going, and I really like this term, Amerizuela. I think that's a fun one that I'm gonna start using a lot. I saw that on Twitter. But if you start to see that happen, the middle class gets squeezed down. Anybody that is able to own assets can benefit from the effects of inflation. And if you look at actual where the market gains have come from since basically 2008, it's almost all been from inflation and not fundamental increases in valuations. So if that's going to continue, asset holders are going to benefit. People who are unable to own assets are going to really struggle. And what happens? People focus on crazy social issues instead of actually looking at and you just see it every day. It's everybody can talk about, and they are important. They are definitely important, but messing around and trying to solve the way that people think, to me, is almost a waste of time when there's actually a potentially solvable problem with currency and cost of living, that if you were able to solve that, a lot of the unrest and division in the country would go away. I mean, across the world too. You just AMD is moving. Which way? No, this is not. This is still not doing anything that I needed to do in order for me to want to take a trade. I think I'll get a decent view of the eclipse in Boston. I think we'll get a decent one there. I think we'll get a decent one. I like this, man. You keep teetering here, we could have some fun on you. This one looks okay. How's the weekly look on VKTX? It's got a little more room down if it wants to. This one I like. Give this thing a little time. No, AMD is not looking good on the daily. Not at all. AMD is looking horrendous, which sucks, but it is what it is. And I would expect to see a little choppiness going into the CPI report on Wednesday. A lot of people are going to be looking at that for good reason. Obviously, we got to see if with energy prices so high, core might be what people focus in on. They might even try and look at super core. So take out energy, take out shelter. They might really start cherry picking some of this data to fit the rate cut narrative. So be very aware of that, how the market reacts Wednesday. But for those of you guys, we'll be talking about it on the stream, obviously, when that data ends up coming out. I think I'll be able to see it out my window here, which would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. All right. I wish Civi was giving us that look today. It's just not getting there. ES just flickering. No, AMD just looks icky. Clear skies today. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad over here. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, 80 likes on the stream. Thank you, guys. I don't think you guys have it in you to get up to 150 today. There's a lot of you guys in here that haven't hit the like button yet, so you never know. Maybe you guys will be able to extend the stream today. We will see. Civi doing its thing. Let's go through some of the larger names. Where's Amazon? How's that looking today? And it's a tough name to get right, but we do like to take a look at that one. Facebook. Apple. We haven't taken a look at Apple today. It's just in the garbage here, man. Apple, Google. Let's take a look at that. Huh. Well, that's not the best, but that's definitely not the worst on Google there. I need some of those glasses, or I'll just not watch the eclipse. I feel like every couple of years, they're like, oh my God, it's a once in a lifetime thing. And then it's like a once in a lifetime thing every couple of years. All right. They're just doing that to sell you guys stuff. Chicago area. I was in Chicago for a little while this week. If we flew over one of the Great Lakes, it was really cool doing that. It had to have been one of the Great Lakes. I would assume so. The body of water was massive. I just don't know which one it was. That I don't. Google looks interesting. What else do we have? What's Home Depot doing? No. Don't go blind watching the eclipse. I'm gonna try not to. We need my eyesight, man, around here so we can keep calling out the best trades in the market. 93% coverage in Boston today. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. CYTK getting tight. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's getting there. I do really want it above that 74.72. Amazon 52-week high. Yep. Yeah, things are getting there. It's just we need that confirmation and validation. SMTC. Nah, I mean this one. I mean right here would have been the one. 5-minute opening range. Boom. Semtech. Yeah. Whoa, this is a semi. Hold on here. Oh, I want to watch this. I want to watch this over the next few weeks because if you can, okay, yeah, this is going to be on my radar. This one definitely. I mean, not right now. Obviously, we need to wait for the setup. But if this is going to be have some strength in the semi sector, oh, we could have some fun with that. Civi's moving down, so we're not getting the look on Civi yet that I want. And I want you guys to realize this as well, especially for those of you guys that are taking advantage of the courses. I mean, remember, that's the best trading education that you guys are going to receive. It's all data-driven strategies. I show you guys all the trades that were taken with, especially the Day Trading Mastery course over a 10-month period. It's filthy. And then obviously that Swing Kings course, which here, I'll throw that link for you guys in here just so that you guys can have it. The 50% off deal. So if you guys are really interested in actually bettering your situation in the market, there you guys go. You don't have to pay twice for them. Just if you want both, you get them. You get both for the price of one. But again, I want you guys to realize exactly why we're able to accomplish what we are. There's been a lot of over the last couple of weeks, things have been shifting. Now, I'm perfectly fine with being patient. Perfectly fine with being patient if the trade that we're going to be able to identify is the one that we hit last week. Look at this. Blast off. This trade right here, the stock went up freaking 82% in 3 days with very, very minimal risk. Combine that with the silver trade, my account was up over 20% last week. If that's the patience that we need to have in order to get that performance, so be it. That's what we got to do. And I think a lot of you guys are starting to operate that way as well, and you guys are seeing that growth. SMTC caught your attention on Friday for big unusual activity in the options on Friday. I'm you know me, I'm not a big unusual options activity fan, but sometimes it can be useful for additional confirmation. But that's probably all I'd use it for. ACB was filthy good. Thank you, Caesar. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy that we were able to nail that one with you guys. And there's going to be many, many, many more. Many more. There's always an opportunity. This one I like. I like it. This one needs a little bit more. It needs to pull back a little and pull into these EMAs. Yeah, ECB was dirty. That was one of the best ones I mean, again, like MicroStrategy, CLSK, Coinbase, AMD, RKT, DraftKings, the 1400 percenter. Like, come on now. It's all about patience and making sure you're putting yourself in the best position to have success. I don't think ACB is going to tighten up enough for us. If it does, I'll do it again. But if it's going to be rangy like this, as it kind of consolidates, I'll probably just let it go and not trade it. You like browsing them for curiosity and employment. Yeah, exactly. Like you can use it for additional confirmation to say, oh, maybe this is where it could end up going, things like that. But you would never want to trade based on unusual options activity by itself. The reason is you have no idea what that trade is for, who's putting it on, the reasons for the trade. Like it could be a hat. Like you have no idea. People like to say that they do. They don't. They don't. Explain it. Explain how somebody buying a crazy option in the market for a high amount of premium or a high price and spending a bunch of money means anything. Oh, they think it's going to go there. It could just be some idiot with a bunch of money slinging it. And most of the time it is. Most of that data is garbage. I'm feeling surprisingly good today from what I had to do yesterday, traveling and this weekend. I was sitting in the airport and on the first flight with a headache, and I was like, oh no, this is going to go so poorly. But we made it. Home sweet home. Let's see. Idiots have money? Who would have thought? They do. Fastly? Yeah, let's take a look at Fastly. I like it if it can consolidate here. I like it if you can. This is something that I would absolutely be very interested in if you get a nice clear shift of trend and consolidation. So Caesar, you're definitely on the right track. And things like Fastly, the way that it's currently setting up now, the weekly is probably still going to look horrendous. The weekly's still not going to look good. But seeing this thing hated so much on the daily and potentially getting that shift of trend, being up about, 5.83% so far today, you get a nice little area of consolidation here. You get that change of sentiment. That could be a really big one over the next month or so. But again, we have to wait and see if it's going to fully set up. So Caesar, that's good. Good identification there. Yeah, the Tesla one. But like people are going to be like, oh, look at how great the unusual options activity was if you just took this one niche Tesla put. And it's like, you have no idea that Tesla's going to sell off like that. Like, thanks. I feel like a student checking homework with the teacher. Thank you, Caesar. I mean, you guys are seeing you guys being able to identify these things and getting that self-sufficiency that I want all of you guys to have it means the world to me. It's awesome, everybody. It is absolutely awesome. ES doing absolutely nothing. Civi lower. This one's still got to go. This one's got to consolidate. This one I will be interested in if it starts consolidating. I'll be very interested in that. I just wanted to see what it wants to do. That's going to take a couple weeks. Fastly, though, that's got my attention. That definitely has my attention. It looks like a lot of the other best trades that we've as they start to form. This is what it's looking like there. Can I check CVE? Absolutely, I can. Mo, I mean, you kind of see this one. It's just straight line up. The last trade on it was here. You would have gotten the 5-minute opening range break of this. Opens up here, breaks. Your stops are below here. Your first target's probably up in here. And you're riding this thing all the way up. And remember the way that I've taught you guys in the mastermind on how to kind of ride these things all the way up? This one is disgusting. I don't know exactly where the 5-minute opening range break was, but if we were to estimate it, let's be a little mean and say, even if it was up in here, stop at day low, just below. First TP is up here for a 1 to 6. And then if you're going through the way that I teach you guys how to do this, you'd still be sitting at with a portion of you would have scaled out up here. This would have been second TP, big levels up in here. But that's another 1 to 13. And then OX I am interested in. NNOX has this one. I actually got stopped out on a couple weeks ago, but the weekly time frame here is, I think, what I want to do on this. Yep. Oh yeah. This one I am interested in for sure. Thanks for bringing that up, because I saw that yesterday. And this is definitely one that I will be interested in. So who said that? Oleg, great work there. I saw that on Twitter. I actually forgot because somebody was talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've been interested in this one. Nvidia owns a stake in this thing. They are a healthcare company, so they are going to have a little bit more vol. See, it keeps saying that the earnings are every day. That's what freaked me out on the first one with it. Because I couldn't get an entry on it because it looked like it had earnings. Oh shoot, do they actually have earnings coming up on the 6th? You got a little time. What's up, brother? What's up, Cody? How you doing, buddy? But yeah, this one I'd be interested in. So we have our alert set. We're gonna see what actually wants to give us that look, and start to give us confirmation, and we're gonna go from there. I gotta send out a lot of text messages today. A lot of text messages today. Wow. Emails. Oh my God. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. Phone calls. We got a lot of things we got to do. Totally. As you said, we only know they take that position, but not why exactly. Did our horse win? Well, I have no stake in it, but the people I know do. And yep. I want to go to the Derby now really bad. I gotta one operation find a date to the Kentucky Derby is a go. You just can't take anybody. So you got to figure that out. I mean, I could always just go alone, hang out, do the same thing. But that would be a whole week, guys. Like I would have to almost take the week off and just update you guys and just not stream. But I mean, I don't know if I'm going to end up doing it. I want to, but we'll see. Here comes ES. Yeah, NNOX is interesting to me. Yeah, there was another one that came in 3rd, another one that came in 4th. There were a bunch of horses, a bunch of them. It was so cool. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done. 5,000 for tickets 5 years ago. Yeah, well, it depends on where you are, but yeah. It'll probably be, I don't know, the whole week would probably be 15, 20 grand. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It might be less, but I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I'd almost just want to use that money to throw my hat in the ring if I could with some of the things they do, and kind of set it up more so for kind of the future, because it was pretty awesome. You recognize I find amazing. Let's see. Market of lemons, quality answer. For boring hours. Yeah. Asymmetric upside. I mean, that's what we do. All we're looking for is asymmetric upside all the time. That's the name of the game. Asymmetric upside is the name of the game. This thing going, man. 7.7% on SMTC. VKTX is dead. This thing's got some range on it, man. Wow. Civi's still just kind of flickering around. I like how it's holding here. I am a fan of that. But we'll see. NNOX could be a good ride to 14 foot. It definitely could. If you break here, you could get that. Second TP's up here. Third TP's way up here. And then you're just going to see what happens with it. You guys know the deal, though. Like, you guys would know the deal. Anybody that's taking advantage of all the education, you guys know. You guys have a skill that nobody can take away from you for the rest of your life. Yeah, I think I need some more suits, though. I have some. I got to go pick them up. I got to go pick up my new suits. They're cool. The new suits are cool. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I like this week. This is probably one of my other favorite setups for this week as well. Even though it's on the weekly time frame, I'm a big fan of this. Civi, I'm still really interested in. This one needs a little bit more time, WFRD, and then there's a couple other ones on there that obviously you guys have been notified of on the watch list, but you might rewatch the courses this week to polish. Caesar, that's a good idea, man. That is a good idea. Again, you guys have access to us forever. And again, this goes for everybody. Once you guys hop in, do you guys have any questions on anything? I know I was a little bit, I've been all over the place over the last few weeks, but I've still been trying to get back to you guys like really quickly on all the questions that you guys have, to make sure that you guys are fully understanding things, because the power of this is insane. You just got to be okay with having some patience. Patience pays, ladies and gentlemen. It pays big time. But team, it is 10:30 in the morning. That is going to be wrapping up our live stream for today. Welcome back, everybody. Anybody that's new, hopefully you guys are learning some things. I'll throw that link again for you guys in here one last time to get that 50% off deal to all the education there. I mean, that is the best piece of trading education that you guys are ever going to receive. There's so much nonsense out there, and you guys can see the amount of success that not only like I'm having with the way that we're doing this, but everybody in the live chats as well, with either strategy. So there you guys go. If you're interested in giving yourself that fighting chance and making sure that you have the tools that you need, there you go. If you guys want those funded accounts for futures, I mean, that's linked in the description as well. If you guys want that 80% off deal to Apex, woo, we got a big week ahead. Let's see. SV Shared Knowledge has made me avoid a lot of discretionary trades, unusual options, saved me a lot of money. The ones I may take once in a while do well because I apply SCV's general principles. Eddie, that is awesome. Don't forget to spend money on shoes. Shoes matter, 100%. Thanks for a great day. Great day, everyone. Caesar, you as well, man. Shout out to everybody coming to these streams all the time. I know there wasn't really much for us to do yet today, but coming off of last week and hunting for those good opportunities this week is going to make us make sure that we're going to be set up for success over the long term, which is the main point. So team, I will see you guys later.